Hello, and thank you for joining me here today for the second episode of the Wheel Play. I'm your host, Richie Lunt, aka the Man of Many Hats, and I'll be looking at all 30 teams and giving my take on each one. Today's episode will be, as we spun the wheel last week, the AL Central. First things first, a huge thank you to Joey Buchholz for letting me be a part of the UBU and do this show. Apologies I didn't say that last week. I think the nerves got the better of me. Also, thanks to Baseball Life and Baseball Way of Life for hosting this nonsense. Just in case you didn't see last week's show, quick bit about me. I'm from Liverpool in the UK. I love sports, but no more so than European football or soccer, as you may call it. And of course, now baseball. If you want to speak to me, give me ideas, then add me on Twitter at manofmanyhat5. Or if you prefer, you can just email me at thatmanofmanyhats@gmail.com. So if you're new, how does the show work? Well, each week I'll be speaking about the division that the wheel picked from the week before. Last week was the NL West. And this would probably be a good time to point out that there are 5 teams in the NL West, not 4. And that's the same for every division. My sincerest apologies for last week deciding that the state of Arizona no longer existed, and nor did the Diamondbacks. I will go through their rankings on this show, and I did feel horrible about it, but Joe Boo kind of made me feel a little bit better by telling me that once he forgot that the Yankees existed on a roundup show. So that made me feel a little bit better. So anyway, on with the show. As last week, there will be an arbitrary scoring based on a mix of facts and my feelings. And then I'll rank the teams in terms of how interested I am in following them. Right. Give me 1 second. First up is Ballpark. Oh no, first up is not Ballpark. I think we need to delete all these. My apologies. A few spoilers if you're eagle-eyed, because I was doing a little practice. But first up is doing the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Ballpark, had to give it a 1 just because of the quality of the other ballparks. I'm not big on indoor ballparks either. Completely understand why, given the outrageous heat that you get in Arizona. But I still have to give it a 1. So current players, also a 1. Again, this is more down to my ignorance probably, but from what I can see, Ketel Marte is probably the only standout player. Feel free to tell me if there's anyone else I should be looking out for. But I mean, that kid looks really, really good. Former players, I gave you a 3 out of 5 mainly because the big unit, Randy Johnson, if he plays for you, yeah. Obviously, Kurt Schilling as well. I know he didn't get in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, there was more to that than meets the eye, but in terms of baseball, definitely deserves to be mentioned. And then there's the fact that you had Luis Gonzalez, who any man who gets a hit off Mariano Rivera in a World Series, especially to win it, yep, I'm going to know who he is. Farm teams, gave you a 3. Again, that's not based on mine. That's based on a baseball prospect website. Ownership, gave you a 3. Seems to be happy enough just in that mid-range. And again, you've won a World Series, so that obviously counts for something. Uniform, again, a 3. I'm not going to lie, they're not my favourite uniforms in the world, but they are better than the Rockies and the Padres. And for the je ne sais quoi, I gave you a 3. So that's like miscellaneous, and that's just mainly based on, was it 2001 when you were the Yankees? I'm going to say yeah. Okay. So, again, sincerest apologies. Hopefully that makes up for it. And we move on to the AL Central. So, ballpark, Kaufman Stadium. It's weird, it's wacky, it's wonderful. It's superbly named, it's aptly named, and it's my favourite ballpark in this particular grouping. It's tricky now because there's no one that really stands out after that. But I mean, obviously, people will be screaming at me that the Twins should be the first. This is just my personal opinion. I know that that's a great stadium, but I'm going to go with Progressive Field just because, I don't know, I get a feeling off it that I like. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Comerica Park, Guaranteed Rate Field, and Target. It has to be Target. It's just, it's the best out of them, but it's just not my favorite. I do like the sandstone and stuff like that. I like the way they have the lights in the roof. They're sort of concave, if you like. Excellent. Also helps with the sight lines as well because there's no lighting rigs. So really good idea there. It's a beautiful looking stadium, but it just doesn't give me that oomph that I'm looking for. Comerica Park comes in at number 4 with 2 points, and then at number 5 it's Guaranteed Rate Field. Comerica Park is a bit Disney for me. Too many tiger statues and stuff like that. Listen, don't get me wrong, it's great for the kids and families, and fair play to them for that, but I just don't really, it's not me. So like I say, it's got a bit of a Disney feel, and listen, baseball's for everyone. If you like that, go spend your money, be happy. And it was great watching the opening game. They obviously never been, but I mean, just even on TV, it looked pretty cool. I've got nothing against any of these ballparks. Maybe Guaranteed Rate Field because it just looks like they dialed it in. There's nothing of any note that I could see. It's just a really plain ballpark, and I think the south side of Chicago deserves it a lot better than what it's given. Current players. I know we do former players first, don't we? So, former players, I'm going to have to give my 5 to the Guardians, or Indians as they were, because I know of Bob Feller. I have heard of Trish Speaker as one of the greatest pitchers who ever lived because of the baseball Ken Burns documentary, and I know Jim Thome as well. So that's where my 5 goes. My 4 goes to the Detroit Tigers. Again, Ty Cobb, maybe not the nicest guy in the world, but boy, could he hit. And he was going to get on base however the hell he needed to. And then just the sheer numbers after that with the Tigers can't be ignored. I don't know any of those other players. I'm looking forward to learning who they were over time, but I can't really comment any further than that. At 3 points, I'm going to give to the Twins. 4 legends, 2 of which I know. Bear Blevin, can't even say his name. That's probably an awful attempt as well, but don't know him, unfortunately. I'm sure he was great. He obviously was. He was in the Hall of Fame. Rod Carew, same deal. Harmon Killebrew, I know because of the chair that's on the shopping centre from how far he hit his home run, which looks insane and is a really nice touch. And then Kirby Puckett, I know because he won the World Series. So, what was it? Touch 'em all? Was that him? I don't know. So yeah, they get the 2, and then the White Sox get the 1. Based on, and again, this is my ignorance. I don't know these players. I only know Frank Thomas, or know of Frank Thomas. So I can only give a 1. My apologies. Current players, I would say this is where the White Sox quite clearly make it back. Lance Lynn, Giolito, Tim Anderson, Louis Robert. Yeah, they've got a team to watch for quite some time, and I can't see anyone catching them, especially not next season. Maybe over the years to come, but they're going to be formidable by the looks of it. After that, probably the Tigers, mainly because they've got El Mago, who I like. I know he splits opinion, but I like characters. What can I say? And he's certainly a character, and he's very talented. Second base, is he at the moment? I don't know. Shortstop, second base. You can do it all from what I've seen. And anyone who gets to run a first baseman down the line to home plate and then somehow get to second base, yeah, you deserve the name El Mago. And then obviously, great story with Badu, and Mickey Cabrera speaks for himself. So yeah, that's where my 4 goes. My 3 is going to... Oh, I don't know. Oh yeah, I do know. The Guardians, because I think they've got a lot of young talent coming through. Was it McKenzie? I like the look of him. He looks like a diamond in the rough. Bit of polishing, and he could come through. And then you've obviously got Bieber, who is a consistent Cy Young contender, and then you've got Jose Ramirez, who is a monster. So, and then you got Reyes as well, DH. So yeah, add that. If they can keep hold of them, and then this young talent comes through, sky's the limit. Could even be challenging the White Sox before they know it. Number 2, I have to give to the Royals, because I absolutely love Perez, Whit Merrifield, and Bobby Witt Jr. Exciting times. Unfortunately, they haven't got much to put around them. Perez will probably be off sooner rather than later. Merrifield's bat could do with improving, but Witt Jr. is going to be a stud, so he gets the nod. And then at number 1, Twins. I like the look of Kirilov. Sano's a beast. And then Byron Buxton is obviously one of the best outfielders in baseball and makes circus catches, which I love. That was really difficult to split those 2, by the way. And then we come on to farm teams. Again, I have a little bit of input in this, but in the main, unless it's close, I just go with whatever baseball prospectors told me. So the 5 points goes to the Guardians, 4 to the Tigers, 3 to the Royals. So hopefully they can get a few more players around Bobby Witt Jr., and 2 to the Twins, and 1 to the White Sox. And it's probably understandable why the White Sox haven't got a great farm system, because they've probably given up quite a few of those prospects to get the team that they've got now, and also have brought a couple up as well. So yeah, ownership. Guardians seem to have good owners. They seem to be able to challenge. They probably should have won a World Series, but when you run into a Chicago Cubs team that Theo puts together, that's been waiting 108 years, something had to give. 48 years or 108 years, I think it was. And unfortunately for the city of Cleveland, it was Chicago's time. Number 4 points, sorry. Royals won a World Series, not done anything wrong. Not the highest payroll, but sometimes it's nice to just have steady owners. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but from what I saw, the Tigers, they are kind of hit and miss, willing to spend money, but it doesn't always work out, and sometimes they spend too much money, which puts them in a bit of a hole. So I'd rather have the Royals, personally, and then the Twins, I just haven't seen, they just seem like middle of the road. Maybe I'm wrong, but there it is. And the White Sox, I know far too much about Reinsdorf, unfortunately, because I also follow a bit of basketball, and any man who thinks that the best thing to do is to disband a championship winning team rather than give them an opportunity to defend their title, that's not the owner I want. Uniforms. Okay. So we've actually got this for this. Who has the best jerseys in the AL Central? I'm going to answer that question right now. And it is the Tigers. Strong logo. And they also don't seem to copy anyone's style. I like the home. I like the away. It was close, though, because the White Sox jerseys, I'd say the main jerseys, the Tigers nail it, but the throwback jerseys and the special jerseys, whatever they call them, that's where let's have a look, see if I can find some. There's that Detroit. I mean, yeah, less is more. Less is more. I like the Sox logo, though, as well. It's strong. It's just not quite got the same oomph. I'm not a big fan of this one, which is rare because I usually like like most of the Chicago. Let me just see if I can find this Chicago White Sox. There it is. Yeah, that's a absolutely brilliant jersey. They can get away with pinstripes because they've got the history, I think. Yes, you do think of the Yankees and all that, but the Sox also had the pinstripes. And even the South Side, even the new ones, I really like them. I think they just get it right. Even like the old school ones, the 76, they're just solid. And the Field of Dreams ones as well. So yeah, if I was going for quantity, I'd go White Sox, but I think the Tigers, just that one logo, that D, is just more striking, and I like the idea of less is more, but I credit to the White Sox as well. It's tricky to know where to put the Guardians because we haven't really seen them, but for that reason, I'm going to give the Royals, I like the white and I like the blue. I like the Royals nameplate, and I haven't seen enough of the guy, but I just really don't like the Twins uniforms. They just don't do anything for me at all. So I'm going to give the Guardians the benefit of the doubt. If they're going to keep the same kinds of style of the Indians, but with Guardians, and I think it'll look okay. And I like the new C as well. So, je ne sais quoi. Sorry, Minnesota. I'm sure you knew this was coming. I'm going to have to give the Guardians 2 based on the new name and all that. Give the Royal... no. This is tricky, man. I'm going to give the Royals me 5, and I'll tell you why. Because when they won the World Series, I was overwhelmed with how they did it. They did it playing smart baseball, with good fielding, all the things that people, none of this like launch angles and velocity and all that. Yeah, I get that, and that's the future, and that's the current now. But at the time they did it, it was like watching old-fashioned baseball, and I loved it. So I'm going to give them me 5. I'm going to give the Guardians me 4, based on the Guardians and the Indians, and the fact that like I grew up watching Major League and stuff like that. So the Tribe was kind of part of the zeitgeist, if you like. Tigers, White Sox. I've got to give this White Sox 3 because they're just bigger than the Tigers, in my opinion. And then 2 to the Tigers. So we got the Guardians actually won out, which surprises me a little bit. Royals came second, Tigers third, White Sox fourth, and no surprise really that the Twins are fifth. I did actually say I was going to be a Twins fan. I was going to take on all the Minnesota teams, but it just didn't fit well with me, and that's why I ended up doing this instead. Right, that brings us to the tier maker. As you can see, there's been an addition. I haven't forgot you this time. Giants are still number 1. It is close between these two. Something could happen. I could flip these 2 around before we finish, but I think the fact that they've got the rivalry with the Dodgers for me would be number 2. But if I'm a Giants fan, I'm going all in on being a Giants fan. So the Dodgers are staying last because that's how it has to be. Don't hate the Dodgers, but I have to have a rivalry. So, that's how it is. If it were to change, let's say this was to happen, then I think the Dodgers would probably come to here. But right now, you got to play by the rules of the game. Right, let's see if we can actually remember who's in the AL Central. So, Sox, Tigers, Guardians, Twins, Royals. Hey, I did it. Look, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's tricky. Obviously, that's not tricky. No offense to Minnesota. Just not my thing. I'll put them there because the champions. Well, they're not the champions. They finished top of the AL Central, and they look like the team to beat. And I don't. If I can help it, I'm not going to go on a bandwagon. For now, I'm going to leave it like that. I think I've still got that history with Cleveland. I've got the history with Kansas City, with how they won the World Series. I like the way they do things. But if I am going to do that, then it has to be that, doesn't it? Got to play the game. If you're going to, they're the rivals, aren't they? As far as I know, Indians and Tigers. So congratulations, Twins. You moved up by default. I'm proper laying into the Twins. I don't even mean to. It looks like a lovely place to be. Everyone there looks really nice as well. They seem like really friendly people, but they probably won't be after watching this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll go with that, and then it's time to spin the wheel for next week's team. So, wheel of MLB teams. Full screen. Start. Oh, what are we going to get? Is it going to land on a division we've already got? No, it's not. So I believe I'm just gonna check. I think I know what the answer is, but I'm making after last week. I'm not doing any MLB standings. I would say it's the AL South. I say, I'm not taking any. AL West even, South. That's the basketball and baseball. And I was right to a fashion. So yeah, there you go. It's going to be the Astros, the Mariners, the Athletics, and the Angels, and then also the Texas Rangers at the bottom there. But hopefully you enjoyed the show. Hopefully I muddled through it. If you want to give me your thoughts on either the show, the teams that I've picked so far, what you like, dislike, what I should be looking at, how wrong I was about the Hall of Famers, then just catch me on Twitter at manofmanyhat5, or if you prefer, you can email me at thatmanofmanyhats@gmail.com. Other than that, as always, sincere thank you for listening. Once again, apologies to the state of Arizona, and I'll see you for the next show for the American League West.